We're driving the 2024 Sienna full hybrid, and it's fully loaded right now. With another kid, we've fully maxed out this van here. Is a fuel sipping Sienna minivan still the best amongst its competition? Today we'll find out. This is the platinum grade, not that XSE that we had last year. And this one comes in around $56,000. So let's get on the front. This being the top of the line, we got a pretty fancy front end. A sparkly grille that goes across, additional lip spoiler down here. Of course, that Toyota badge, it signifies with that blue accent that it is a hybrid. And then as we come to the side, you can see the fog lights down there on the bottom. The base models don't have the fog lights. They look a little bit nerdy without them. I love that they're here. Of course, they're going to be here on the platinum. This has these massive 20-inch wheels. They're like a bright chrome or super high polish. These are actually the same wheels we had on the XSE last year, but those were like darkened and blacked out. What do you guys think? Do you like the chrome finish here? It's not my taste. Cass, what do you think about the
No way, Jose.
No way, Jose. Yes, I'm not, it doesn't do anything for me. From the side, silver roof rails, silver window surround, silver door handles, silver garnish on the side mirror. Nah, it looks all right. You know, my favorite thing here with the Sienna that no one else has done is the kick sensor to open up the doors. So if your hands are full with kids or groceries, it's super convenient. You can also press this to close it. And I like the button for closing because on our older Sienna, not this fancy hybrid new generation, but the old V6 model, the kids struggled just to pull the handle to open the door. Now, the door will open itself after you pull that handle, but that's still kind of hard for the kids to do. It's nice to have that cheat code with this little button here so they can make it even easier for the family. This is a kick sensor in the back too, but of course you have the platinum loud and proud here. This is the top trim of the Sienna. The XSE that we had last year had this in like kind of like blacked out, a little bit sportier here. This being you could call it the platinum or the chrome model. It's of course as shiny as possible. Of course that Toyota badge is blue back here as well. Nice parking sensors when you're backing this up, but this has the 360 camera on the platinum, which is very functional as well. What we do with our minivan is we make sure that our beach cart is always with us, not only for the beach, but also for groceries. When we stop at Costco or Sam's Club, they don't give you grocery bags, right? So I unload the cart into something like this, and it's just super easy for me when it's full of groceries to pop it out. It's a little bit tighter in the newest Sienna compared to our previous generation Sienna, but it still fits in here and it gets the job done. If we come in close, Cass, you can see there's a household plug here, so we could run an extension cord up to 1500 watts. We can run it to the kids on the inside. We could, I don't know, put an electric grill out here or something. You could do a lot of different stuff there with that power outlet. Now, right here in our van, this is where our 8th seat is. This is just a big cutout here. Now this, I believe, is still an 8th seat option on lesser grades. This platinum, I believe, is captain's chairs only. You have the nice first aid kit too. Kids, stay safe. And we're gonna close this up. Oh, real quick, JBL subwoofer or speaker set in the lift gate here, which we never have the radio going when the kids are in the car. And if it is, it's not very loud. So let's go back on over to this side. Sorry, I'm leading you the wrong way, Cass, because we need to show the second row here. Nice grab handle for all ages. Little kids, big kids, parents to get in. The load floor is pretty low in here as well. This platinum grade has the ottoman feature. Gigi didn't know about it. Mumu knew about it and she loves it. So you can also extend it. It's pretty neat, but that's never gonna fly in our family because we're always loading kids into that third row. Pushing this back. All right, so I'm gonna take you guys on a tour real quick. We do have the top flip down screen, and last year we showed you we had Pokemon running through an auxiliary DVD player. We are not doing that this year. Watch my video from last year if you want an idea of a DVD player playing through the system through the HDMI cord and port down here. Again, another 120 volt, 1500 watt HDMI input. So our Sienna has a DVD player. Previous generations had DVD players, and it's kind of a thing of the past now. USB-C, USB-A for Gigi back here. She kind of wants to record for me, so I'm gonna let her hold it. And Gigi, make sure the camera is on my face, okay? So, Gigi, can you point the camera up top? Can you point it? Yeah, so there's the vent, and which is great to cool down the little kiddos. Abe has his own vent over there as well. And Gigi, if we point it up top, you have your climate control. You have heated outboard seats, which is kind of cool, but you know, since you're in a big seat here, you're never gonna get to appreciate that outboard heated seat. Yeah, here are the rest of the family. Now, what I appreciate about this back seat, the windows have a little sunshade back here, which is pretty cool. I'm not gonna be able to do it with one hand, but I like that. The second row also has a sunshade, which is great for the little ones. On Reggie's side, she has a volume control for her headphones, but she doesn't have USBs on this side. On Mumu's side, she has USBs that are illuminated as well as volume control for the headphone. They have great leg room, and these seats are pretty far back as well. They could still go back a ways if we wanted them to, but this is a good setup for us as I slide my way out of the van. And I think that's about it for the second and third row. We're gonna get into the front seat and start driving the all hybrid Sienna. Let's go. Sun coming down through the sunroof in here as I put it into park. All right, Cass, before we get too far and we get out of the Target parking lot, perfect place for a minivan. What are your thoughts with this brown and two-tone, like brown and cream interior?
Like 3 different colors, huh? With the chrome and...
Well, yeah, and you have this pattern here too, which is kind of like a fake wood, but it's totally plastic.
You know, it's not for me, but I would say it's fine. It's a lot of colors working at once. I didn't even notice it was brown until you said it was brown.
Right, because it's so dark it looks black, and until the sun hits it just perfectly, it turns brown, or you see that it's actually brown.
So maybe the design's a little busy.
It's actually quite busy, and in fact, remember in the past we've taken this Disney before, not this one, but 2 years ago we took a Sienna to Disney. We took one to Miami last year, and what we miss about the old Siennas is that all this is freed up and you can stow away the cup holders.
Yeah, it's a little bit too much over design maybe.
It just, yeah, and I like the shelf here. We can just throw our phones here. You have a wireless charger underneath. I am wired in for Android Auto. They have not updated anything about this generation really over the years. You would think the screen would have got bigger. I mean, we still have all this old software, old buttons in here. I still like having the volume and tuning knob, but it just seems a bit dated at this point compared to the competition. A lot of the other Toyotas in the lineup at this point have gone from I don't know if the camera will take the camera, gone from a 7-inch screen that you guys see right here to a fully digital 12-inch screen. You just saw the engine fire up there. That's a great thing about hybrids. And you see I'm getting about 40 miles per gallon. We'll fill up to see actually what the real number is, but 40 miles per gallon, guys, that's not that far off. When we took it to Miami last year, we got 37 miles per gallon going like 75 on the interstate.
It's incredible.
It was crazy. All right, we're gonna start driving here. Auto brake hold, I love this feature, but you do have to turn it on every time you turn the car back on. All right, so leaving the good old Target parking lot. I mentioned the sunroof, and a lot of the competition nowadays have pano sunroofs, but I guess with the rear seat DVD entertainment, it kind of like would make that an awkward situation when you have that, you know, screen plastered to the ceiling. Maybe you can't really have a, but you know, I think since the interior in the second, thanks Volvo, not a care. The interior in the second and the third row is quite dark in here. I think I would happily trade that screen for a nice pano roof.
For another sunroof, yeah. I would agree.
That rear entertainment costs $1,400, and it doesn't have a Blu-ray player in it. And it's just, I would rather spend that money either on a pano roof if it was available, or on a whole new set of kids' tablets or something.
Oh, yeah, there
or just save that money.
Right.
So, yeah. it works. It's just kind of a hassle, like we showed last year with the DVD player. We actually stored it down here.
Yeah, which is a good spot.
It's a good spot. But yeah, no, the storage in here is still good, but it's not like it's as convenient as the old minivans in the past, because let's say we'd have like a snack bag and we could just kind of pass things back and forth kind of easily if we needed to, or have similar access. But with this bridge, they call it, it's all kind of like, I'm just going to go the other way.
Okay.
It's all just kind of, getting to this storage down here is just not as convenient as it has been in previous generations.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of the bridge design, maybe.
Yeah.
In general.
Well, right. I mean, I love the traditional shifter, but our van has a shifter and it's kind of like up here.
Right.
And what some other competitors like Hyundai's doing, I know they don't have a minivan in the United States, but they're putting the shifter on the steering column, and that gives us a lot more space.
Yeah.
Because it's a hybrid, it doesn't need to have, it's all shift by wire anyways. And I wish this wasn't taking up, I mean, when we took this to Disney, we actually filled up all 4 cup holders up here. And it would have been nice to have additional space. Like, look at our phones, it's kind of like
on top of each other.
Yeah. By the shifter, there's drive mode, and there's sport. I think I'm in normal right now. There's sport. You really get no indication here. You have to look really hard to see the modes change. I've actually kept it in eco the entire time, and I found this to be true with the new Prius as well. Is the new Prius has a lot more power than before, and just simple presses on the gas pedal, it's really hard to get that nice efficiency and smooth, like, and predictable acceleration that you have in the previous generations. And that's what happens here when you're normal or sport mode on this Sienna hybrid.
Okay.
It's just that the throttle's really grabby and it wants to give you a lot more than you need. And that's going to kill your fuel economy.
Oh, well, that's bad.
So I keep it in eco mode, and it feels just as responsive, I would say, most of the time compared to our V6 Sienna. Where it doesn't hold a candle to the V6 Sienna is if I pedal down, it feels like our Sienna has an extra 20-30 horsepower at the top end. And that's what I want here. So this has 245 horsepower. Okay. So it's a 2.5 liter mated to the Toyota hybrid system. And it's super efficient. Like I said, we're getting somewhere around 40 miles per gallon right now.
That's incredible.
It's insane.
Yeah.
But it's slower than our van. And there was a time where I actually passed someone taking the kids to school this week, and I needed to like get around them quickly.
Yeah.
And it was just not doing it fast enough for me.
It's not good.
So you though, this would be perfect for you because
I run errands at
go
speed.
Ahead.
No, I run errands at speed, and no, go ahead. I don't know what you're going at for.
I'm going for, when I met you, you had a Prius.
Yes.
Okay, a second-gen Prius.
I love the Prius.
You hate buying gas.
I hate buying gas, that's true.
And you don't care for going fast.
I do not need to go
Actually makes you sick.
It makes me a little, like car sick.
So this is honestly like the perfect powertrain for you.
Okay.
40 miles a gallon, smooth.
Right.
And you don't hardly ever have to go to the gas station.
Which is amazing.
Like 600 miles to the tank, as we proved last year. It's actually more than that.
Oh, wow. That's incredible. I can't get over that.
It's insane because we fill up every 330 miles on our V6 van, and this has like double the mileage, therefore double the range. So you and I both hate filling up, going to the gas station.
Yeah. And
we're gonna do it here for the sake of seeing actually what the fuel economy is compared to what the computer is telling us.
Okay.
We'll do it here in a little bit, but the Sienna, that's its strongest point. So like I mentioned, okay, the rear seat entertainment, it's not right for us anymore. There's no pano roof. This is getting kind of old. By the way, I really like the ventilated seats on this Platinum model.
It's nice. It's not, it's like in the right position, like the right spot. Sometimes it's too low or too high.
Yeah.
It's like just right. Like,
it's hitting like mid-back for me. It's a really good ventilated seat.
It's nice.
Yeah, it's solid. But I do like the climate control. I even talked about that. I like how it's just simple switches and buttons. Love that I don't have to go through the touchscreen.
Yep, do you like that?
So the ergonomics when it comes to the tech is fine. It's just the ergonomics when it comes to like your duffel bag minivan isn't there for the front passengers. It's fine for the second and third row.
Right.
The safety features really haven't been updated over the years either, but I don't actually have any issues with Toyota Safety System Plus 2.0. I think that's what this is.
Okay.
I also have a head-up display here, which compared to newer Toyotas is not quite as up to date, but I like it. It reminds me of the head-up display in our Prius that we currently have, our 3rd gen Prius. Except this is color. Ours is just like green.
Yeah, it's just green.
But this is like, it's a little bit brighter and it's a little bit sharper. So
nice.
And you can customize it as well. Not a whole lot, but just a little bit. So what is this guy doing with his Tahoe?
He's trying to affix his little like boat back onto it and block a couple lanes while he's doing it.
He should have got a minivan. He wouldn't have. I don't know how that would have changed his situation.
He should have like deflated it. It looked like it was like an inflatable one, but.
I can't talk about the JBL sound system because every time I've had it this week, I've just been either sitting in silence or kids been in the car and we don't really listen.
And they don't really like music.
They don't like loud music.
No.
And one of the biggest issues we had last year with the XSE, well, 2 big issues, was the sound that was coming through the window at highway speeds.
Oh yeah.
And I was excited to test either the limited or the platinum because they have what's called acoustic glass right here. It's
fancy.
A double pane glass. And the windshield is also acoustic. Now, the windshield keeps the sound out really well. The problem is still the side glass. I still, even at like 55 miles an hour, I still hear wind buffeting going on. It's not as quiet as I want it to be.
Okay. Yeah.
Even on this platinum grade.
Okay.
So, is it quieter than the XSE we tested last year?
Yes.
It is, but it's still not as quiet as I was hoping
not
it would
as
be.
quiet as
It's
it
not
should
like
be.
Lexus quiet, for example.
Okay.
The other thing that I wanted to talk about compared to the XSE is those seats were just vinyl. They call it the Softex.
Oh, okay.
And they were not perforated and they were not ventilated.
Okay.
And as we were driving across Alligator Alley in the summer,
yeah, it was so warm.
we were sticking
We were.
to those
I was
seats.
like sweating.
We were sweating.
Yes.
The AC in here works great, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, keeps us cold. But for some reason, the XSE, we were like fried eggs on those seats.
Yeah.
We were sticking to it. I had to lift up my shirt.
Yes. Oh my word.
Because my shirt was getting soaked.
Yes.
So that's something that the models with the perforated seats, if you're going to be living in a hot climate,
yeah.
you're going to either go with cloth seats, because cloth is going to breathe okay.
Okay.
Or get the perforated seats that have the ventilation.
Yes, it's necessary.
It is necessary for where we live.
Driving around sweaty.
It's no joke.
Yeah.
So I've already put 135 miles or so on the Sienna this week, doing kid stuff, school, you know. The gas needle is still above full.
Oh my gosh. No.
In our van, it would be like close to a half tank.
Right, yeah.
It's just silly.
That's
how
impressive.
good this is at fuel economy. Now, I didn't mention you can get this in all-wheel drive.
Nice.
Your fuel economy might go down just a little bit.
Yeah.
Here in Florida, we don't need
all-wheel drive.
No.
No.
And I guess I could go back to the other thing, which is the lacking in power. How could Toyota address that? Well, they have 2 powertrains in their lineup that could address that. You could kind of have like a hot minivan. We tested the Grand Highlander out.
Oh yeah.
That thing has like 360 horsepower.
Yeah.
They could put that turbocharged hybrid setup in here. But I think realistically, what the parents like us would rather have is their Prime, their plug-in hybrid setup.
Yes.
Which gives us 300 horsepower, which is more than our minivans. It gives us the power where you would want, as well as the efficiency.
Yeah.
And you'd get 35 miles of electric range. We would, like, if we don't put gas in this as it is, since it has a 600-mile tank or more,
goodness,
you would be filling up your Sienna just a few times a year only on road trips.
No.
If you had the plug-in.
Yeah, that is amazing.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
And so we tested a plug-in hybrid minivan recently in the Pacifica. It wasn't for us. It just didn't feel refined, and it was very expensive for what it was, in my opinion. But Toyota's hybrids are so good, they could benefit from having that plug-in hybrid system here on the Sienna, and who knows what they would charge for it. If this is $55K, they could probably charge another $5,000, $60,000 minivan, but no one else would do it as well as Toyota.
Right.
All right, so we're gonna cut to, well, the brakes. What are the brakes like?
Perfect.
Again, on the brakes are really good.
Yeah.
They might even be better than our brakes. There we go. Come on, Corolla.
Oh, I think he wants to cross over.
He's good. No one's coming.
Oh, good.
Yeah. The brakes are really good here. They might even be better than our Siennas. And when it comes to handling, this Sienna, it doesn't need to be the XSE model. Any of the new Sienna models, it still handles way better than any previous generation Sienna. So, I mean, I felt the weight a little bit more now that we have like seven people in here. Yeah. Instead of just like 1 to 3 that I've been driving around most of the week. But it still handles really, really well compared to previous generations.
Oh, this Ford guy. He doesn't know what he wants to do. Don't do it. We're right next to you.
Yeah. See, that's where I wish I had more power, right? So I can get around sketchy people like that who are riding the lines and just can't make up their mind. But yeah, this hybrid system, 245 horsepower. If I could have an additional 40, 50 horsepower and a plug-in hybrid Sienna, I've been asking for it for years. Toyota just hasn't delivered. And in fact, they've done the opposite. They deliver what's working for them, and they haven't changed anything.
Well, it's working for them.
It's working, though, and they're laughing their way to the bank.
Yeah.
And it's still like the most sought-after minivan on the market.
There you go.
Mainly due to its efficiency. We've tested other minivans out there that we like the space or the ergonomics or the power, whatever it might be. There are things we like better about other minivans, but this just, its fuel economy is so good that the competition still doesn't know what to do.
Right.
But there is some competition coming. There is a Kia coming out, a Kia Carnival.
Oh, Kia Carnival, okay.
And they're hybridizing that, and that will get similar fuel economy to this. And that finally Toyota will have some competition, and maybe that'll allow them to start lowering the prices a bit, because they're just like the only one in this hybrid minivan segment, not counting the Pacifica, because the Pacifica is not as well executed as a product. Yeah. But anyways, there's the 7-Eleven. We're gonna have to do a U-turn to get there, and we'll fill up, and I'll tell you guys what our MPGs is at the end of it. Okay, I just ran the numbers, and I'm having a hard time believing that I got this good at fuel economy. Now keep in mind, before I tell you what the fuel economy is, I have had really nice temperatures this week. I've been driving mostly just me or 2 or 3 kids. Thank you. Nice little LS right there, being so kind to us. There were times I didn't need to run the AC because the temperatures have been super mild, around 75 degrees, sometimes around 66 degrees in the morning, and we don't have hills here. So like, it's honestly ideal per situation to get the best fuel economy possible. And I just put 3 gallons in it, and there's 140 miles on the trip. And it's 2.986, just rounded up to 3 gallons, divided by 140 miles. So that's 46.6 miles per gallon. When you have fuel economy that good, there's no competition unless they can get somewhat close to that. So Toyota, yeah, your van's not perfect, but your powertrain's just so efficient that it doesn't matter. So there you have it. Cass, what are your thoughts?
I don't have my mic.
Oh, you don't have your mic on.
But for the gas efficiency alone, it's worth it.
I know.
It's like drop mic.
It's a mic drop.
It's a mic drop.
Yep, I agree. And the kids are happy in here.
Yeah,
You know, every time they see that screen, they say put on a show. But if we had this for like a long term, of course I'd put the DVD player back in here, and maybe I'd find a way to, I'd get like a USB for our phones so we could like put through HDMI like something on Netflix.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
things like that. But anyways, yeah, it's really, really good, and I'm gonna leave it there.
Yeah.
46 miles per gallon. There's got to be some error in there, but we got 37 miles per gallon at 75 to 80 miles an hour last year.
Yeah.
In flat Florida. So well done, Toyota. And as we watch this little Prius C, aka Aqua, go by, long live their hybrids. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.